Are you constantly fighting hunger while trying to lose weight? You know the feeling. It's 3 p.m., your energy is crashing, and that little voice in your head starts whispering about the cookies in the pantry or the siren song of the vending machine down the hall. You try to resist. You drink some water. You tell yourself dinner is just a few hours away, but that hunger is a gnawing presence that makes it impossible to focus. Before you know it, you've given in. And that one small treat turns into a full-blown binge, leaving you feeling defeated and right back where you started. This cycle, this constant war between your goals and your cravings, is the #1 reason most diets fail. It creates what I call a diet prison, where you feel deprived, restricted, and just plain miserable. But what if I told you the key to breaking free isn't about having more willpower? It's not about starving yourself. The key is to completely shift how you think about food. In this video, I'm going to show you the ultimate low-calorie snacks that let you eat until you're full, crush your cravings, and still demolish your weight loss goals. These are the snacks that have been my secret weapon, the tools that allowed me to finally lose weight and keep it off without ever feeling like I was on a diet. We're going to unlock the secret to eating more, not less, to get the body you want. Let's get into it. The philosophy, why almost zero is your secret weapon. Before I just throw a list of foods at you, you need to understand the powerful principle that makes all this possible. It's a concept called volume eating, which is all about focusing on caloric density. I know, that sounds like boring science, but I promise you, this is the most important weight loss concept you will ever learn. We all know the basic rule of weight loss. You have to be in a calorie deficit. Burn more calories than you consume. Simple, right? But the old school approach is to just eat less food. Smaller portions, smaller plates, smaller everything. And that's why it fails. Your body is hardwired to fight back against what it thinks is starvation. Your stomach has physical stretch receptors that tell your brain when you're full. If you're only eating tiny calorie-dense meals, your stomach never gets that satisfying, full feeling, so the hunger signals just keep firing. This is where caloric density comes in. Think of it like this. Imagine 100 calories of gummy bears in one hand and 100 calories of strawberries in the other. The gummy bears are a tiny, sad little handful. You'll eat them in 30 seconds, and you'll be even hungrier in an hour. The strawberries, on the other hand, are a huge, beautiful bowlful. They'll take you 10 minutes to eat. They're packed with water and fiber, and they will physically fill your stomach, hitting those stretch receptors and telling your brain, hey, we're full and satisfied now. That is the secret. It's not just about the calories, it's about the volume of food you get for those calories. The strategy is to build your diet around foods with a very low calorie density. Foods packed with water and fiber that provide bulk with very few calories. By focusing on these, you can eat massive, satisfying portions that crush hunger, while your actual calorie intake stays low. You get to eat until you're genuinely full, which is the key to psychological sustainability. You break out of the diet prison because you're no longer depriving yourself. You're just making smarter choices. So when I say almost 0 calories, I'm talking about foods so low in caloric density that you can eat a ton of them without derailing your progress. Just so we're clear, almost all foods do have some calories, but these are so low they're practically negligible. These snacks are your tools for satiety, your weapons against cravings, and your ticket to freedom from the dieting Hunger Games. Now that you know the why, let's get to the what. The savory and crunchy lifesavers. When a craving hits, it's often for something salty and crunchy. This is where people get into trouble, reaching for chips or pretzels that pack hundreds of calories into a few handfuls. You don't have to fall into that trap. Here are my go-to lifesavers that will crush those cravings and keep you feeling full. Snack 1. The ultimate volumetric salad. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, hear me out. I'm not talking about a sad little side salad. I'm talking about a massive, epic, meal-sized bowl of crunchy, flavorful goodness. The salad is the undisputed king of volume eating. The base is crucial. Think bigger than iceberg. Romaine lettuce and spinach are fantastic. A huge bowl with 3 to 4 cups of romaine has maybe 30 to 40 calories and provides that satisfying crunch we all crave. Next, build the volume with filler vegetables. Cucumbers are your best friend. They're over 95% water, and a whole one is only about 45 calories. Celery is another champion. Bell peppers add sweetness, color, and vitamin C for minimal calories. Cherry tomatoes, radishes. You can add massive handfuls of all of these, creating a bowl so big it feels like you're cheating. Now, flavor. This is where most people go wrong, drowning their beautiful salad in a dressing that adds 200 to 300 calories. Your dressing needs to be a hack. My #1 go-to is salsa. It's incredibly flavorful, and typically only has about 10 calories for 2 tablespoons. Another great option is a simple mix of red wine vinegar, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. 0 calories. If you crave creaminess, blend fat-free Greek yogurt with herbs and garlic powder. You get a creamy, high-protein dressing for a fraction of the calories. For example, my spicy salsa crunch bowl. 3 cups of chopped romaine, 1 cup of sliced cucumber, a half cup of cherry tomatoes, and a quarter of a sliced red onion, all topped with a half cup of salsa. The entire massive bowl comes in at under 100 calories. It's crunchy, spicy, savory, and so filling it can be a meal in itself. Snack 2. Cucumber and jicama chips. Sometimes you just want to sit on the couch and mindlessly crunch on something while watching a movie. My solution? Cucumber and jicama chips. Slice cucumbers super thin. Spread them out on a plate. Now for the magic. For a salt and vinegar vibe, spritz them with white vinegar and a sprinkle of sea salt. For a spicy kick, a dusting of chili lime seasoning is incredible. My personal favorite is everything bagel seasoning. It's a game changer on a cool, crunchy cucumber slice. A whole cucumber prepared this way is still under 50 calories and gives you a giant bowl of chips. And let me introduce you to a hero of the crunch world, jicama. If you've never had it, it's a root vegetable that's slightly sweet and incredibly crisp, kind of like a savory apple. Slice it into sticks or thin rounds. A full cup is only about 50 calories and it's loaded with fiber, making it perfect for dipping. Speaking of dips, salsa is a top-tier choice. Another is mustard. Most yellow or Dijon mustards have 5 or fewer calories per teaspoon. For something more substantial, I make a blended cottage cheese dip. Take a cup of low-fat cottage cheese, blend it until it's perfectly smooth, and mix in ranch seasoning. You get a high-protein, creamy dip that's perfect for your veggie chips. Snack 3. Soups and broths. When it's cold or you're craving something warm and comforting, a hot soup or broth is the ultimate comfort snack, leveraging warmth and liquid volume to make you feel full. The simplest version is a high-quality bone broth or a vegetable consommé. You can sip a warm mug of beef or chicken bone broth for around 10 to 40 calories per cup. Miso soup is another fantastic option. Instant packets are around 35 calories and feel much more substantial than they are. But here's the real hack: the supercharge. Take any clear broth. While it's heating, throw in a massive handful of fresh spinach or shredded cabbage. The greens wilt down, adding incredible volume, fiber, and nutrients for virtually no extra calories. A cup of spinach is less than 10 calories. This turns a simple cup of broth into a mini meal that will hold you over for hours, all for under 50 calories. Section 3. Conquering the sweet tooth. For many of us, the real battle is with the relentless desire for something sweet. Sugar is addictive, and desserts are calorie bombs. But you don't have to live without sweetness. You just need the hacks. Snack 4. Sugar-free Jell-O creations. Sugar-free gelatin is one of the most underrated diet tools on the planet. A serving has only about 5 to 10 calories. You can eat a truly massive portion of this for a negligible caloric impact. It satisfies your sweet tooth and helps fill your stomach. But we can do better. Let me introduce you to Jelly Fluff. Prepare your sugar-free Jell-O. Let it cool a bit, then pour it into a blender with a cup of ice. Blend it on high. The mixture will whip up and expand, creating a massive volume of sweet, mousse-like fluff. You can easily fill a giant bowl with this decadent-tasting dessert for almost no calories. Another upgrade is to add fruit. While the Jell-O is liquid, stir in fresh berries. Strawberries and raspberries are perfect because they are also very low in calories. A large bowl of raspberry Jell-O filled with fresh raspberries can easily come in under 100 calories and feels incredibly indulgent. Snack 5. The watermelon and melon marvels. Fruit is nature's candy, but at the top of the list for volume eating is watermelon. It's about 92% water, which means it's extremely low in calorie density. A 1-cup serving has only about 46 calories. You can eat a giant wedge of watermelon, we're talking a pound of fruit, for around 150 calories. Don't sleep on its cousins either. Cantaloupe and honeydew are also fantastic. A cup of cantaloupe is about 53 calories, and honeydew is around 60. Here's a favorite trick. Cube the melon and freeze it. Frozen watermelon or cantaloupe cubes become like little sorbet bites. You can also take these frozen cubes and blend them in a high-powered blender with a squeeze of lime juice. You get an instant, all-natural, no sugar-added sorbet. A giant bowl of this slushy treat can be made from 2 cups of melon for just over 100 calories. Snack 6. Nice cream and frozen fruit hacks. Blending frozen bananas for nice cream is popular, but a medium banana can have over 100 calories. For a truly low-calorie version, we swap the banana for berries. Here's how you make almost zero strawberry soft. Serve. In a blender, combine 2 cups of frozen strawberries, a splash of unsweetened almond milk, and if you like it sweeter, a tablespoon of a zero-calorie sweetener. Blend it until it's smooth and creamy. The result is a massive bowl of soft-serve style ice cream for around 150 calories. Compare that to a tiny scoop of premium ice cream, which can be double or triple that. But the simplest hack of all? Frozen grapes. If you haven't tried this, you're missing out. Wash and dry some grapes, spread them on a baking sheet, and freeze them solid. They become like little bite-sized, all-natural hard candies. The texture is incredible, and because they're frozen, you can't eat them quickly. A cup of grapes is about 100 calories, but eating them frozen feels far more satisfying. Mid-video CTA. Alright, hopefully your mind is already blown, and you're starting to see that weight loss doesn't have to mean deprivation. If you're finding this helpful, I've put together a free recipe book with 20 more of my go-to high-volume, low-calorie meals. Not just snacks, but full recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The link is right at the top of the description below. It's completely free. My gift to you for committing to your health. Just click the link, grab your copy, and let's build an arsenal of delicious food that fuels your goals. Now, let's get back to it. Section 4. The game-changing swaps. This next section is all about the swaps. Almost magical replacements for high-calorie staples that can save you thousands of calories per week. Snack 7. Konjac, shirataki. Miracles. If you feel like you just can't live without pasta or rice, pay close attention. There is a product that lets you eat massive bowls of noodles, or rice, for almost 0 calories. It's called konjac food, also known by its Japanese name, shirataki. Konjac is a root vegetable made almost entirely of a soluble fiber called glucomannan. Because it's just fiber and water, it contains practically no digestible carbs or calories. A standard serving has anywhere from 5 to 10 calories, but always check the label, as some brands can vary. Compare that to a 200 to 300 calorie serving of regular pasta. Now I have to be honest, if you just open a bag and eat them, you'll probably hate them. They come packed in a liquid that has a funky smell, but there's a secret to making them delicious. First, you must rinse them thoroughly under cold water. Second, and this is the most important step, you must dry fry them. Throw them into a hot, non-stick pan with no oil and stir them around for a few minutes until they squeak. This drives out excess water and dramatically improves the texture. After that, use them just like regular noodles. One of my favorite strategies is the pasta diluter. I'll cook a small, 100-calorie portion of real pasta and mix it with a full bag of prepared konjac noodles. You get a giant, satisfying bowl of pasta, but you've slashed the calorie count. A quick word of caution. Because this is pure fiber, start with a small portion and drink plenty of water to avoid any digestive upset. But once your body adapts, it is a revolutionary tool for weight loss. Snack 8. The power of pickles and fermented foods. Let's move on to another savory powerhouse. Pickles and other fermented vegetables like sauerkraut and kimchi. A large dill pickle has fewer than 15 calories. They are crunchy, salty, sour, and incredibly satisfying, perfect for obliterating a craving for greasy chips. Sauerkraut and kimchi are also incredibly low in calories and packed with complex, tangy flavor. A quarter-cup serving is usually under 15 calories. Beyond the flavor, these foods can also be a source of probiotics, the good bacteria that support a healthy gut. Just a note, for probiotics, look for brands in the refrigerated section that are unpasteurized or mention live cultures, as many shelf-stable products don't have this benefit. The one thing to be mindful of is sodium, so if you're salt-sensitive, look for low-sodium versions. Section 5. Honorable mentions and liquid assets. Here are a few more quick-fire ideas. First, the classic celery sticks with mustard, a 0-calorie flavor combination that gives you that savory kick and satisfying crunch. Next, plain rice cakes. They're usually about 35 calories each, but they are a fantastic, crunchy, low-calorie vehicle for other flavors. Top one with that blended cottage cheese dip and some everything bagel seasoning for a savory snack under 60 calories. Then, we have our liquid assets. Don't underestimate zero-sugar drinks and sparkling water. Sometimes a craving is just your brain wanting flavor, and the carbonation can also help create a feeling of fullness. While some health authorities suggest limiting artificial sweeteners, if having one 0-calorie soda prevents you from eating a 500-calorie dessert, It's a massive strategic win. Sugar-free gum is another powerful tool. I call it a pattern interrupt. When you feel the urge for mindless snacking, popping a piece of gum can satisfy your mouth's need for flavor and activity, derailing the binge before it starts. And finally, simple coffee and tea. A black coffee or unsweetened herbal tea has virtually no calories. The caffeine can have a mild appetite-suppressing effect, and sipping a warm beverage is psychologically soothing. Just be careful with caffeine late in the day, as it can disrupt sleep, which is crucial for weight loss. Conclusion. So there you have it, the ultimate guide to snacking your way to weight loss. The key takeaway should be this: weight loss is not about starvation, it is about strategy. It's about filling your plate with high-volume, low-calorie density foods that nourish your body and satisfy your hunger. You don't have to live in diet prison. By making these simple swaps, you can eat large, satisfying amounts of food, crush your cravings, and watch the pounds melt away. My challenge to you is to pick just one of these ideas and try it. Make a giant volumetric salad, whip up some Jell-O fluff, or try the konjac noodle hack. Experience for yourself how liberating it feels to eat a huge, delicious snack, knowing you are moving closer to your goals. If you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my future videos. Finally, leave me a comment below. Which of these snacks are you most excited to try first? Or do you have a go-to almost zero-calorie snack that I missed? Share it with the community. We're all in this together. Thank you for watching. Now go crush your goals, and I'll see you in the next one.